During those first few hours, we had no idea. We came out of hospital, no complications. He was a perfectly healthy baby boy to us. The next morning, the midwives noticed that he was a little blue around the lips, and we were rushed to Starship. And from that point on, we had about 20 doctors and specialists trying to figure out what was wrong with him. Initially, they thought he might have an infection, but soon they discovered he had a heart defect, and quite a serious one, meaning he had to have immediate surgery just to keep him alive. I just remember looking into the ICU and the surgeon giving us the thumbs up and thinking, what a little fighter he was. Less than a week later, he had undergone open heart surgery to repair his heart, and a year on, we still have to remind ourselves what he's been through and what the future holds for him. It's probably more than any of us will have to deal with in a lifetime, and he's just one of so many kids that have to battle this for the rest of their lives. Some will need multiple surgeries and some won't make it past their teens. Heart kids have been there for us right from the start, and they'll continue to be there every step of the way.
Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Hey everyone, welcome along to In the Copper with Kinser. But of course we've changed it during the off season, but we can change things up as well. We put a bit of a comp out, but we've called it at the moment Shed Night. My mate, he joined us looking around, making sure everything's going to run smooth for tonight's show through to 8:30. Booker joined us right now. Hey Books.
Hey mate, I'm just trying to keep my phone quiet. People know the show starts at this time, but they still bloody message me, don't they, eh?
Hey, they know, bro. All they
Lewis.
messaging you, bro, is going up the necky. That's all they go, up the necky.
I don't want to talk to Richard and Trudy. I'm not happy about that. But it was good. The top team on the day won, didn't it? Just like in the finals semi-finals over the weekend and the World Cup too. You know, the best teams of the day won. You know.
Yeah, hard out.
Yeah, a little bit. But hey, we'll just wait till teams champs and we'll watch the Hawkeyes take that out.
We actually got a driver who's going to join us, no doubt. We'll be talking a bit of teens with us as well. But big good evening to Tanya, who's always watching our show. Luke Irvine, like you mentioned, Richard and Trudy Aldridge. Cam, mate, thank you. I really appreciate your gift for our big event. You would have seen the video, Hard Kids. So the 17th of November, Huntley International Speedway is part of the Pollock Cranes teams. We are doing the auction again. You may recall about, earlier this year, was it? I think it was Books that we did over at Huntley, I think it was. We did the event and that went to Cancer Society, but this one's all going towards Heart Kids. You saw the video earlier. So Cam, cheers, mate. We've got the 2NZ Adam Joblin side panel from his Ford wide body.
We'll put some pics up about that soon and different things that people have started to donate. It's quite good. I was talking to some drivers in the pits at Miani on the weekend, and Josh Prentice is going to find some panels for us. He reckons that we can auction off, you know. The Hawkeyes have got some merch pack they're going to put together for us to auction off for these Hearts kids. So it really is a good charity and awesome event, and we're getting behind these people, behind the Heart kids, because they just don't get the support they deserve from our government, you know. So this is just our little bit to try and help and maybe help someone, you know. So yeah, but on the weekend, we promoted ourselves as going to Miami and going to give you guys one of our normal shows with talking to drivers and stuff like that. Unfortunately, events happened down there and we weren't able to give you the normal show that we normally would do. So we apologise for that. If you're expecting a few more interviews or whatever from out of us, we were planning to do that, but we didn't manage to get there. We did get there, sorry, but some unforeseen circumstances happened and we were unable to produce that for you. So we apologise for that, and we can assure you that the next sort of interviews we do on track side will be top notch for you guys and girls, and hopefully be everything that you're hoping for. So yeah. What's that?
It's pretty well lit. We enjoyed ourselves, actually, by the way, at Miami. It's been 20 odd years since I went down there. You would have heard that at the start of the interview, but loved every minute of it. Looking forward to the big one down there. So we walked around and spoke to a couple of TQ drivers, stock car drivers, super stock drivers. Unfortunately, we couldn't cross over to where the street stocks were. I got to say, gently Bentley, check that one out next time you're in Miami, the 71B red
old
street
school
stock.
looking one over, mean as.
Old school was mean. So big shout out to them. It was cool, but it was just good to catch up with everyone. Madu Goodley, mate, thanks for the lovely photo, because Books are shared up on our banner on our Kokpit page. It's the three of us two, and of course our friend Steve M at Dirt NZ. We're all down there, Madu. We went along on the Sunday just quickly and checked out the RC cars, Books? You know all about that stuff, mate.
The old quarter scale RC down there. So I put up a video. You can see it on our page with the quarter scale midgets, sprint cars, and dirt mods, and they have a couple of other new ones now as well. So that was pretty cool, Kins. Yeah. And there was some funny joke going on. That's what we're all laughing at in the picture. Everyone keeps asking. I think Dirt tried to make out he was something, and we laughed at him. And nah.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. No, that was Muddy taking the photos. So, I think in total, if we spoke to Muddy, he took like 5,200 photos going work that one out. Mark Goodman, mate, good to catch you the other day. Tracy Vincent, Tony McGrath, Zach West, who races online with us. Riker Edge, he's going up the Rebels, up the Hawkeyes and the Maulers from Tony. Good evening to you, Warren Buchanan, Richie Mason, and evening, mates. Aaron Lewis, I understand he had a drive in the street stock on the weekend down there.
Loved it, except for he didn't like the hits. It hurts him too much. He's a little bit soft. Nah, he really didn't like the hits. So yeah. Hey, but I did write, Kins, in the comment for the show tonight that we had an announcement to make as well tonight to everybody.
Yes.
So we're doing our auction on the 17th of November at Huntley International Speedway Club Rooms, the night before the Pollock Teams event. So you're more than welcome to join us for the auction there, people. Make it a whole weekend. It's going to be awesome. But on the Saturday night, Kins, what are we doing on the Saturday night?
We're going to be actually, both of us, Booker and I, will be on the commentator microphones at Huntley International Speedway on the Saturday night. Just got off the phone with Fiona before, and we're going to be jumping in the box. So you're actually going to hear us trying to call, attempting to call, having fun, shits and giggles, whatever you want to call it. We'll be doing our best, but we'll be interacting together and bringing you the commentary at Huntley International Speedway that night, Saturday, 18 November. So if you want to carry on and see the shenanigans that we get up to in the commentary tower, listen out for us. So that's what we're doing. That's the news, and we're bringing you the commentary from out of Huntley International Speedway on that night.
A few hootenannies will be given that night, mate. And I'll try not to get I don't know if I'll break out the holy snap and duck shit, Murray. That was a bit of a mistake. You never know. I'll try not to get as excited as I do for calling our Sunday nights racing here, but it's I'm going to try my hardest not to swear too, because we all know how I feel about swearing. So yeah, Aaron's put, yes, the hits aren't great, but man, what a great class Streeties is and group of people. So he loved that. So yeah. So anyway, that's our news. Myself and Kins are going to be race commentating the night for the Pollock teams. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit nervous now, to be honest, just thinking about it. Yeah.
Come on.
A little bit nervous.
You'll be all good. Run down the stairs to the toilet around the back. You'll be all good, mate. You'll be fine. So that's what's happening, folks. That's what's happening. Carl Carpenter, good to catch up with you, mate. And the new car you got out there as well, Mike Beaumont. Yeah, we're all going good, mate. How are you? Bernie Giltrap, Pete Rose. Are we going to be live? Oh, not too sure. We'll have to ask that one at the Huntley track. Yeah, it is awesome. You'll hear some of the hootenanny at Huntley. But it should be a lot of fun. Why not?
Well, the thing is, I don't think we'll be live as such because the Pits Media is doing the stream. So no doubt we'll probably be coming through the Pits Media mics, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but someone will hear us, and we're gonna have a ball. And we'll give it the hoot nanny. I tell you, she'll be all on. But anyway, let's get this show on the road. We've got people standing. So we've got Jordan Dare in the background as well as Russell Hayes, and Wayne Hemi was going to join us, but we don't know. If he turns up, we'll bring him in. Otherwise, let's start the show with Russellkins from Kiki.
Yeah, president for McDonald's Kihikihi Speedway. He's been there for 20 odd years. And Russell, mate, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Mate, we've been travelling up and down the countryside talking to all these tracks and doing their whole Speedway season. But first and foremost, congratulations from winning Speedway New Zealand Award, the Perseverance Award. Out of 14 meetings, mate, you only got 6 in there, but well done.
Yeah, no, it was definitely well deserved, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes too, you know, particularly with the off-season. What's been happening at the track in the off-season?
So we've put sort of been doing a bit on drainage on the infield. Had more clay recently put in just because we have got a bank track, so we've had to sort of maintain that banking as well. So and then wall got repainted. Wall's been repainted. So and a lot of electrical work. Had a lot of upgrades in the electrical work. So yeah.
So the electrical side of things don't extend to the lights, obviously.
No, probably just buildings and stuff. Just upgrades in the buildings and stuff. So yeah.
And hence the reason most of the meetings we're going to talk about all start at 4:30, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Racing background. Obviously, you've pedaled around the circuit there as well. You got a son that does it. It's in the family.
Yeah. I mean, I started years ago in a production saloon, which is, I had a couple of mates that were doing it. I thought, well, why not? So I started doing it, and always been with Kihikihi Speedway. So and then I did do a couple of years in a street stock, and then son took over the street stock. But yeah, I had 2 kids go through in the mini stocks as well. So yeah,
awesome. Are the hits pretty hard though in the street stock, like Aaron Lewis made comment on?
I don't know. I remember racing at Wakaraka years ago, and there was a car basically ended up parked right in the boot, right behind my back seat. So it was a pretty major hit. But I thought, well, that wasn't too bad actually. I walked away. So yeah.
Aaron's just bloody soft in his age, mate. Anyway,
he's gonna give us some shit when he gets these us, mate.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
So of course,
hey, let's get into the.
Yeah,
sorry, Karen Books. Oh, so let's get into this. Let's get into talking about the opening weekend, which is this Saturday. You got your fireworks opening weekend. You got the Rosemount Midget 40 Lapper, stock cars, saloon, super saloon, sprint cars, TQs, mini stocks. Pretty full on event, mate.
Pretty full on event, all right. Yeah. Pretty sure we can pull it off. We've pulled it off before, so just got to keep those cars going. Just keep everything going. So yeah.
When you talk midget 40 Lapper, mate, you got some of the big guns coming down for the opening night?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, there is some big guns. Yep. I'm pretty sure we've got Pickens on that list. I think the list should have gone up. I'm pretty sure it has. Yeah.
No, that's all good. All right, there you go, Tracy. Before you ask the question, Tracy Vincent, one big fan of Michael Pickens. You know where he's going to be, Guy Fawkes night. You move on through to, of course, 11th of November. The mini stocks, a great class, the future of our speedway we love. Doesn't matter what class they grow into, obviously, but you got to have a starting class. You got the mini stock Stampede.
Yep. So we normally we run that at the end of the season, but of course last year, the last meeting, we got rained off again. So all the kids missed out. So I said to them that we would run it early in the season, and so the kids that were destined to do it then can have a good go at it now. I think there's only 4 or 5 kids that may have missed out, because of that. So try and get it done early in the season, and then that's done. So yeah.
Yeah, 3 groups there as well. F2 midget saloon stock cars. Then, of course, you're moving down to the end of November where the big wings are out there, eh? The sprint cars. You've got the
Yeah,
Waipa sprint car champs, mate, plus the
yeah,
super saloon champs, plus the
yeah,
sidecar champs, plus
yeah,
the midget triples. What a meeting not to miss out on the 11th of
yeah.
November, 25th.
That's going to be a another big meeting, that's for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly is. Yeah.
How's the sprint cars go there on a small
Yeah,
track, mate, with a
I was
bit of
thinking that
banking?
with that
How do they
track.
go?
Really awesome, eh? I think when we ran the Andrew Edwards Memorial last year, they were basically racing 3 wide,
Oh.
and it was really spectacular. And that particular meeting, I think the lap record was broken a number of times by
Wow.
more than one class, So
Yeah.
it was just awesome to watch. Yeah,
Okay. Then, of course, got the super saloon champs as well.
yeah.
Mate, is your track going to handle 2 high-powered classes like that?
Yeah, well, it's actually good. It's a good track because I think it was last year or the year before, we ran we had a 30. I think it was something like 80 laps. There was 3 features for 3 classes, and it was a total of 80 laps,
Wow.
one after the other. And I think we only had 1 yellow. It
Wow.
was incredible, eh? Like, you get some
What?
good drivers out there, and you give them a good track. It's good to watch. Yeah,
Holy hell.
yeah.
Holy hell. Hence the reason I'm guessing why you kind of collaborated with the sidecar champs, because the track will be quite smooth for them to do what
Yes.
they need to do.
Yeah, that's exactly why we've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Midget triples, saloons, TQ midgets, mini stocks. Then, of course, we're into the Christmas month, 9th of December. You got the stock car champs on, eh?
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Oh, you
I
got
think
the midget.
Last year we had about 2 groups of stock cars, so I guess we'll see what happens this year. But yeah, the school was
Yeah.
quite popular, that too.
You got the midget champs on as well. The golden oldies, mate.
Yeah.
That's
So we've got
crusty.
actually quite a few members of those, eh? We've got quite a few
Yeah.
members.
Yeah, one of our good mates, Jeff McConey, we know him as Krusty. No doubt he may be there having a bit of a go at that. And it's good to see the old cars get out there and have a bit of fun, eh?
Yeah, too right. Yeah.
You know, brings out bloody good memories. So obviously, you take a break over that period through to the end of January. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Gee,
Yeah.
that's a big break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are on a public domain, like I suppose a lot of other tracks, and we compete with horse events.
Oh.
Right.
And like there's polo grounds, and all sorts. So polo sort of takes off in that January, February period. So we all have to share the same space. So, hence we sort of, so actually it sort of works for us because then our cars can go and do the championships.
Yeah.
We get a lot of championships through January. So, I mean, as much as we're not running so much, it lets them go, releases them to go and do that. So
Yeah, good point. All right, you've got the big one, though, coming up on the 27th, 28th of January. Now, that's the Auckland anniversary weekend, so that's a long weekend. And just remember, this one is a Saturday and Sunday. It's, of course, young Fletcher trying to retain his 1NZ, the New Zealand Saloon Champs, mate.
Yeah. So with the Mount not registering saloons, we've actually picked up a lot of those good cars this year. So that's I'd like to think that it'll be a K car winner 1, 2, or 3. That's for sure this year. That'd be really good if it is at the home track.
What's the indication on numbers that you'll get tuning up for this actual championship, mate? And how far would some of these cars travel?
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, because it just depends, doesn't it? So we're sort of thinking maybe 40, 50 maybe. It's a hard one to tell, eh? It's just hard to tell. So
I just hope you get some Southerners, come up to have a shot at this. And Saturday you got the Waipa TQ Midget Champ Stock sidecars. Then of course it gets underway with the big finals on the Sunday, which also features super stocks as well. So that's going to be a huge weekend. You can travel home if you're lucky and you live up this region because you got a day off on the Monday, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Prices. I just want to get into prices here, especially with it being a championship meeting.
Yep.
How does the price structure work at Kihikihi?
So we basically most of our meetings are like $30 adults, $60 for family.
Okay.
So basically kids are free if you get a family. Then it's up to 4 kids. So you're really only paying for 2 adults anyway.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple of minor meetings. I think we're $50 family, 25 for adults. Yeah.
All right, another big break, mate, until the end of Feb. The Waipa Superstock Champs, you got the Saloon Battle of the Sexes, Super Saloon Sprints Cars, Midgets, Mini Stocks, again, the Golden Oldies, the 24th of Feb, eh?
Yep. So that should be a good weekend, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. You'll get some big names here, no doubt, I'm guessing, too, because there's a few big events on around the same time. So, it just makes sense. It just seems to make sense for Superstock drivers to kind of get that meeting in. Then we move on through to March. Holy hell, mate, before you know it, your season will be done. 9th of March is the National Sidecar Teams.
Yeah, so that's our guys won that last year at Rosebank, didn't they? So they brought that back, and I guess we have to rerun it. So it'll be clubs competing against each other for that trophy.
New Zealand versus Australia Mini Stocks.
Yeah, so that's where those drivers come over from Aussie, and they have those cars. So I think they're doing Rotorua, us, and Huntley. I'm not sure in which order, but so it's all been teed in. So they basically every weekend they're racing somewhere. So
that's cool for them.
Part of that show as well.
Oh, they'll make sure do better than their damn rugby team anyway, but we'll move on. Central Series TQ Midgets, you got round 3, your saloon, sprint cars, quarters, and mini stocks there as well. Then move on through to mid-March, the Andrew Edwards Sprint Car Memorial.
Yep, so that's our big one for the season, try and get that done that. We have moved that forward because it used to be back in April, but we've sort of pulled it forward.
Yeah.
Did advertise that quite early, so usually get good numbers and top drivers for that event. Usually get some really good sponsorship too. So good prize money paid out for those guys at that meeting.
You got a stock car teams, mate, coming up that weekend as well.
Yeah, so we sort of threw that in. It's sort of an invitation thing at this stage, just to. Our Kings guys have never. I actually wanted to run the a Superstock one-off as well, but because it's the weekend before, I think it's at the North Islands in Rotorua.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah,
it doesn't work. It just didn't work, but it would have been great just to have a Kings Superstock a one-off race and a Kings stock car race. But we'll stick with the stock car one at this stage, and
Dusty Roads TQ Midget Trophy. Tell me about Dusty Roads.
So, that dates back, way back. It's some real history, and it's before my time, so it's been raced for every year for a long time. And the TQs is what started at Kihikihi.
Yeah.
It was the TQ class that started, our club basically. So you look at the old photos and you look at these cars and they look nothing like they do today. Lots of old photos, around the place.
Yeah.
So,
right. And you're right. There's 65 years of history with this track. Then you move on through to April, 13th of April. That's it. Done and dusted, mate. The season finale with the Demolition Derby, Saloon Champs, the Rosetown Stock Car 25 Lapo, and all the other classes. But that starts at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so we start. There's a lot of classes running in there. We try and it's just a big finish. We try and have a big finish, get as many classes in. That 25 lappers really become quite popular with the stock cars. They just, I don't know, they love doing lots of laps. If they you give them that. There's a few, a lot of cars haven't even got a big enough fuel tank, but they still go out there. So
yeah.
Last year it was a little bit of teams racing because I think there was a few people didn't want someone else to win. So it's quite entertaining actually watch stock cars do that many laps.
Yeah, I just see sorry to interrupt, but we're talking about the Dusty Roads thing. I knew someone out there that watches us that everyone that watches. There's so much history people know, and Murray's put race out of Hawke's Bay in the 60s, Dusty Roads.
Oh, okay.
So
yes.
There you go. There's some information. I don't know. Murray's pretty good when it comes to the history of our sport. He's a bit of an encyclopedia as well, isn't he, Kin? So. Yes, actually racer out of Hawke's Bay in the 60s. So,
okay, and then they must have got it up to Kihikihi at one stage, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but there you go.
I don't know.
The Dusty Roads, I know. Now I'm showing my age. I was reflecting on WWF, but anyway, the old wrestling days.
School him.
No, there was another Roads a country and western singer. But mate, you know, Russell, it's not just you that does this whole work. There's a team of yous, and you cannot do without the team that you have down at your track and all their roles. You know, a lot of them are, well, they're all volunteers in some sense, but it's this love and passion that you have for what you do, eh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, we've got a really good committee. The committee didn't even really change this year, you know, so we haven't had many changes on the committee for a number of years. Everybody's, you know, right behind the club. There's no, you know, everyone's, you know, we make decisions as a whole. It's, you know, and try and make the right decisions. So, and you know, I think over the last number of years, you know, we have grown. It's just getting better and better. On our sponsorship, we get more and more every year. We actually, guys, you know, ring us up and ask, how do we sponsor you guys? How do we want to become involved? So when you get those sort of phone calls, it's really, you know, it's really great. It sort of tells you something. Maybe we are doing something right. You know, I'd like to think so sometimes.
Well, hey, McDonald's thinks so, mate, because McDonald's, as long as I can remember, has been associated with this track, you know, for many years, and outdates the time that you've been there as well. I just want to get from your perspective, though, for a little small town like Kihikihi, who's got a nice bank track there as well. You got the likes of Asheree's gone back to back with the 1NZ. What does that do for you, the committee and everyone at the track that puts all these hours in when you got a champion who's pedaling around representing the K? You know, what's that like, mate?
Oh, look, you know, everybody, you know, when that started happening, you know, that was awesome. You know, what more could you ask for? You know, but you know, we've got the same with sprint cars. You know, they've been going bloody well. You know, we've got our guys in there, and I'm sure the same's going to happen. You know, midgets, young Fabish coming up through the ranks. You know, like to see that one day, you know, with a 1, 2, or 3 on his car. So, and we've got these, you know, TQs, some very good TQ drivers.
Wicked.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We did have a 1NZ stock car, but
yeah.
I mean, that was an achievement in itself, you know. That was so unexpected, but you know, they just popped through. So Ben Ellis. Yeah, being
to do it on Booker's home track in Miami as well. So, mate, you're doing well. You know, when I think about what you've done and what you had to battle through last year, 14 meetings, you only got 6 because of the weather. Well done to you and your team. And I can see myself and Booker making a bit of a journey to your track there, mate, and mix and mingling and having a bit of fun. We like to bring the light to the track and to the fans and enjoy ourselves. As long as you're having fun, what more can you ask for, eh, mate?
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Enjoying it. Russell, thank you. I know you can go online, go to the Kihikihi Speedway.co.nz. You can get tickets online. It's right there on the homepage. So make sure you jump on there, support them as well. Any information you need to find out about what's going on, it's all on that website. Thank you, mate, for joining us. You're done well. You didn't cough, so that's one good thing.
But just quickly before he goes, it's quite good, the people that know the history. So here we go. This looks like a pretty good write-up for you, Russell. Clive Dusty Rhodes is a founding member of the first secretary of the Kihikihi TQ Club. Dusty competed in the first race meeting in 1954 and also assisted in the development of Kihikihi Speedway in those early years. He achieved 2NZ in 57-58 season. 57-58, eh, kids? Season as a Kihikihi club member, and later went on 1NZ back-to-back as a Hawke's Bay TQ Speedway club member, a club he was also a founding member of. So,
right.
So that, you know, that's probably a meeting to go to watch, just out of pure of the history of the Speedway, of the sport, obviously, you know, like that guy. Yeah. He's right up there, what he's achieved in Speedway. You know, being a founding member of certain clubs and everything. I mean, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, very. Yeah.
There you go, mate. You know, we're not just pretty faces on the show.
Know the history.
Yeah.
You can tell them now. You know it. See, that's why. That's why our show's bloody good, mate. We bring you the history.
All us young fellas come in, we don't know what the history is. Yeah, you know.
We just make it up as we bloody go along, mate. Wicked. Hey, mate, Russell, thanks for joining us. Restart, mate. All the best on Saturday. Hope it all goes to plan and everyone goes, ooh, wow, looking at the fireworks. You're doing a wonderful job. So hats off to you and your team. Keep it up, mate, and hope it all goes well. Heaps better than last year, eh? Cheers, Russell.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I see in the
Awesome.
background that Wayne has turned up as well. If he can probably hear me, so he just knows his mic is muted. If he knows that or knows how to unmute it, I can see here that it says his mic is muted.
He's looking around. I can see him looking around. Jordan's sitting there. Jordan's waiting for us.
Look at that. So we'll bring these two gentlemen in from the Red Waka Motorsport. So, and the birthday boy, of course, is Jordan and Wayne. G'day.
Good, guys.
Oh, we have got sound. Awesome. That's perfect.
How are you both? All good, Wayne? You all good, mate?
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excellent, actually. Moved down to Wellington and a bit closer to the family and the Red Waka team. And, yeah, we're in for a good season, I'd say. And first of all, I'd like to wish Jordan a really happy birthday. Really good guy. I've known Jordan for many years now. And we went out for a nice dinner with Jordan and his family over the weekend. So happy birthday, Jordan.
Thanks, mate.
All good, mate.
Yeah. Young fella, eh, Jordan? Young fella, mate. Look at that. The smile says it all. Any KFC for dinner, mate? Do you have KFC or what?
No, I just caught up with the family again for dinner tonight. Went and had dinner with mum and dad and my partner. So it was nice. I've been trying to slow up on the KFC these days because it's slowly starting to catch up on me.
Yes, it does. Hey, aside from Speedway, Jordan, did you get out onto the rugby field?
Yep, I did play. I was actually going to have a year off rugby. The season just gone. It's Speedway all summer and rugby all winter for me. So I decided I was going to take a season off rugby, have some weekends to enjoy myself and rest up. But got about 3 or 4 weeks into the rugby season, and I seen the guys posting up photos and things like that. And then the next week I was down at training and ended up playing the whole second half of the season, and it was a really good year. We ended up making the semi-finals and just lost the semi-final to Shannon, and it was awesome. So I was glad I got back out there.
Club rugby for me is next level. Yeah. I go and support my local club down here, and I enjoy watching the club rugby more than I enjoy watching all the professional guys. I think it's just that grassroots stuff in New Zealand is just next level, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge for Foxton. It's a small town here, and when the team's going well, the whole town gets behind the club, and it was like that this year. We had the team probably to go all the way and take it out like we did back in 2019, but like I say, we just got pipped at the post, but it was awesome season.
Mate, just need a bit more Foxton fizz. That'll get you over the post, mate. A bit of Foxton fizz. That's all you need, mate. How good is that, Wade? This young fella can get out in the off-season and take a second half and play a bit of rugby with his mates. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Jordan's obviously very athletic and very fit and strong. So, he's good all round. He's awesome at racing his super stock. He's awesome at his stock car. And he's really good at his rugby, and he's certainly dedicated in the gym and all that, and he loves eating KFC. So I think he's talking a bit of BS there. I think he's sneaking some KFC at lunchtime when no one's looking.
Holy hell.
So,
Wayne, mate. So carry on, books.
I was going to say, so yourself, Wayne, did you do anything in those younger years, any sports, mate, or was it just a Speedway and work?
Yeah, probably Speedway and work, really. I started racing when I was a young fella, and but we didn't have the luxury of mini stocks and that. We jumped straight into, we'd call them stock cars back in that day, and but they were kind of like super stocks, so we didn't have the standard stocks as they were known as. So that kind of took all my time up. I was fully dedicated to racing. In fact, Jordan and I had a bit of a giggle on the weekend just gone, because I think I'm coming up to 40 years and Jordan's coming up to 20. So,
40 years. Is that too many left at a car with 40? Who else do we think would be left for 40 years? Maybe
Ron Ty.
Ron Ty. Yeah, Ron Ty. Yeah, we had to catch a Ron Ty, books there, Pa. We always catch up with him, and we talk about it, and Brendan always fills it in about Ron, and jeez. It's only you two, eh? Honestly, I think it's only you. It's only you and Ron, is it? I can't think on the top of my head. It's done
Andy
30 years
McCabe-
plus. Oh,
Andy
yeah.
McCabe was there until he retired a few years ago. I think he would have been probably the longest super stock license holder of for continued years. And I'd say either Ronald or I are probably very close to picking up that little achievement. I'd say.
I'd say Graham Barr would
how
probably be up there
long?
too, wouldn't he?
Graham Barr, yeah.
Yeah, Graham Barr, Clive Elliott, maybe.
Well, Graham Barr retired for a long time too, Jordan. So he took 10 years plus off, when he had his kids, and he kind of vanished off the scene and come back. But when he come back, he was very, very good when before he retired, and he come back just as strong. So that 10-year break didn't do anything for him. Didn't do anything for him. He came back as good as he was. So he's always been an excellent driver, I thought, Graham Barr. So.
Yeah, and Clive Elliott will walk away with the youngest competitor in the Superstock ranks currently at this stage, I would guess. So he's still out there pedaling. I'll give him that one, the youngest.
He was racing on Saturday night, and it's always good to see Clive in the pits, and he's out there enjoying himself, and he got a lot of support to build the car, with the likes of Tony Mack, and a lot of the country chipped in to help support that and for a good cause, and I say Clive's living his best life. So it's really good to see. Yeah, I used to, if we go back a little bit, when I was a kid, my dad raced. And so I used to go to Speedway, Warrington, to Timarua every Saturday night with the family. And Clive Elliott used to race there. I used to watch him when I was in nappies.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can remember Clive Elliott watching him. He actually brought... he used to have a car, and his number was 980. And it used to be the radio station. Might have been Radio Windy. And he brought in one of the Taylor's really good cars. And I remember Clive Elliott getting around with we call it a Moggy Man helmet, just nothing on it, but he'd wear a scarf around his mouth, back in the 70s. And Clive was up there amongst them, was really competitive back then. So, he brings back a lot of memories.
That's an awesome bit of history, Kins, isn't it?
Oh,
we got to interview Clive. We grabbed him. We just grabbed him off his car when we did the Palmy practice last year. We went up there and did interviews, and his wife made him come and talk to us when he tried to run away as well. And he was a great chap to talk to, wasn't he, Kins?
Oh, yeah, look, we went back to back. I think at first we caught up with old Pete Sloman, had a chat with him too, and shared his memories. And then Clyde tried to sneak away and run away, like you said, but his wife grabbed him. We had a good chat with him. Mate, I suppose the biggest question everyone's asking about is the cars look wonderful. Both of the cars that we saw them out there on Saturday, and the images went crazy all over social media, which is a given once they post up. I think most of my news feed on Facebook these days is everything bloody Speedway. But the color of the chassis, not red.
Well, Jordan had a bit to do with that. I love my red, and Jordan come to us after last season and said, I think the dark chassis looks really good, because he left his. I mean, obviously Jordan's a Panther, and he left his chassis, black and with the red body on after the teen champs. And so I kind of I played a little bit of poker with him. I went, no, we're red, and I didn't let anything on. But in the background, I kind of respect Jordan and part of our team, and I've got to sometimes make sure that we listen. And I would talk with Andrew Stewart from AWS, who's actually brilliant at graphic design.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he's the best in the country by a country mile. And so I kind of told him kind of what we wanted, and he done the design for us, and it came out like that. And I didn't even show Jordan the drafts of the car and all the concept drawings. I just got it painted, and Jordan took it up there, and he was kind of probably just as surprised to see us change our primary colour.
It looks very cool how it changes too, eh? So as it goes round, it flips. So you got one side black red and the other side red black. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's correct. And that was Andrew Stewart's doing. He designed that for us, and he said that the crowd need to see a bit more red on that side of the car. So he came up with that design, and I think it's worked really well. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm sure Jordan's happy with what we've got. It's probably a bit of fresh colour makes us feel a bit better, a bit newer. So hopefully we can go a bit better this season.
Well, you know, you've always had well-presented cars, Wayne and Jordan, both years. You know, immaculate is what I'm going to say here. They just always stand out. And what you've done here with this concept and made a change. And I'm just going to say a big shout out to Steve M at Dirty NZ, because me and Book were sitting at Miani checking out the cars on our Facebook and everything. And it was him that bloody spotted how it changed
Straight away.
from side to side. Straight away. We did
away.
it. We're too buzzing out looking at the bloody cars. But he picked it up. That was the first thing he had picked up, how it changed from black, red, black.
I wouldn't have
Mate,
given
the
him
weekend
the credit, Kins. I would have taken it for myself. No.
I know you would have. But, you know, you hit the dirt on Saturday, the Lucas soil, and, mate, you couldn't last for a finish on the podium, including Jamie on there as well. You know, wow, what a start to the bloody season.
Yeah, it was an awesome start to the season for all three of us, really. And obviously Wayne had the brand new engine in his car, so you know, he said to me before the meeting, just going to take it easy tonight, run my new engine in, and come race one, he goes flying by me, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, he's not taking it too easy. He must have been having me on. So from there on, it was race on. And the same with Jamie. Obviously, built a brand new car, and he had Wayne's last year's engine, so he's a whole new package. So for him to come out the blocks and finish second too, so I guess I was the one with the upper hand. You know, I had the same package from last year, but managed to sneak through by a couple of points on both of them, luckily, and took the win. But yeah, no, it was an awesome result for all three of us.
It's cool to see that progression that Jamie's made so quickly over the last few years as well, Kins? You know, like, you must be pretty proud of that, Wayne, that how well all these guys are going.
Yeah, well, we're talking about Jamie Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
Yeah. So, obviously, Jamie Hamilton, you know, has got a lot of experience in building the chassis, and certainly a really good team, you know, driver, and obviously a giant. So, we haven't, and I think Jordan and I respect Jamie so much that we would never have a conversation with it. Drag him over to the P. We know that he likes to be a G, and that's fine. But Jamie Hamilton's his own identity, and you know, he's running his own car. He's a part of our family, so obviously he gets 100% support. But our Red Waka teams are me, Jordan, and Jamie Hemi. So Jamie Hemi's a few weeks away. We're just waiting for his engine to be completed, and he'll be out there with us. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you find your new car?
Yeah.
What's that?
How do you find your new car?
You know, new cars are always quite challenging for me. I'm quite a slow learner, to be honest. You know, like takes me a little while to adapt to things and suss them out. But yeah, we're getting on top of it. And at the end of the day, we've got to do it our way, you know. And I've got an amazing crew chief, being Murray Gilmore, and he's been with me 20 years, and we just got to share our notes, and we just got to do it our way. And if we go back at 10 years, when the Vendetta came out, that was a bit of a dog actually, and it took us 2 or 3 years to get on top of that car. But I would be ballsy enough to say it was the fastest car in the country by quite a long way. When I retired that car, and in fact, Humphrey said to me, he goes, "What? I don't understand why you're building a new car, because you've got the fastest car in the country." So we've got to go faster. So, so it's work in progress of what we're doing. I'm happy with the car. So absolutely, it's a QTR. I respect Glenn Leach and what he's done for us. I know Jamie Hamilton worked for him and that, but that doesn't cross paths with us at all. You know, like it's sort of QTR, and if we need to, use Glenn Leach for some support or whatever it is, we'll 100% use Glenn. He's been amazing to us.
Awesome.
But the new car, I think we still got to do a little bit of dialing, and we're really working hard on it to get it dialed in this season. So we're hoping to get up to the pace.
Wicked. What about you, Jordan, and similarities to your car too, because what's this, your second or third season in your new car?
Second.
Yeah, about 2.5, because we had the COVID season. So Really we had one full season in it last year, so we're still learning it. By no means, we missed the setup in the first 2 races on Saturday night, being a bit conservative, and we still have never pushed the car past its limits. I've never got in it because we adjust it through the night, and I've never got in it and come back in and gone, right, we've gone too far, or it's not going faster than it was in the previous race. So, it's exciting to know how far we can go, because it is fast when we get it right, and it's an awesome car to drive, built for me by Rob Linton, and as everyone knows, he's top quality engineer and stock car builder. So yeah, can't fault the car at all. It's been amazing.
That's why Wayne went flying past you, mate. You missed the setup. He went 50 behind.
Yeah, but I have to be honest, is when we took off, because Jordan went off on grid 13, I was on 15 behind him on that last race, and yeah, Jordan kind of got away on us, and absolutely brilliant. I mean, Jordan's a smooth driver, and his car was really fast, and we could not catch it. So we've got a little bit of work to do to catch Jordan as well, because he's certainly got the whole package there, and yeah, I think his Linton chassis is really getting the business done. So I don't know, Jordan, and we haven't really had a decent conversation. I mean, how do you like the Linton? Because it's very similar to RW2 being a same kind of style of car. Obviously, it's updated and it's newer. And but what's the difference between those 2 cars for you? Because that's a really interesting question.
Yeah, I think I've been asked that quite a lot by a few people in the pits, and the main thing for me is that the car's built for me. Obviously, RW2 was built for Wayne, so it was a lot smaller cockpit. So I'm really comfortable sitting in the Linton. Everything's designed and built for me. But the length of the car's a little bit longer, so it's got getting more drive on the slick tracks. And RW2, I'd always struggle in race 2 or race 3, whereas race 1 I'd always be really fast. And that's just the way the class has gone now. Everyone's getting faster, so you've got to keep moving with the times. And there's things on the car, longer arms and Jacob's ladder. You can just feel the technology advancements in the car when you get into those later races, and it's really good. Like I say, we have never pushed the car past its limits yet, so yeah, it'll be exciting to see where it can go.
Hey Wayne, I just want to go back to you for a quick second here. Now you brought up RW2. How many years has that car been around? I remember watching that car for years, and I used to love the sound of the engine and everything that it brought to the track. It was so damn sexy on the track. It sounded sexy. It was six on bloody wheels. How long has that car been around for? What's the years?
Well, we built that car after the New Zealand champs, after I won the New Zealand title. So that car would have come out 2002, brand new from Gorge. So it's been it's probably 21 or 22 years old today. So we were laughing about that, I think, with Dave Evans, weren't we? I don't know whether you were there, Jordan, in the pits. I think maybe it was your dad, but we were laughing, saying, well, it's really good for the old timers race. And when I retire in a few years, I better jump in it and take it back on the track.
We got some questions here. We got from Scotty Honeybone. Are you, Jordan and Wayne, entering the South Island Superstock Champs this year? Because it's open, isn't it now? Isn't it? They've done something there. They opened it up.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really discussed our calendar, have we, Jordan? We've been so kind of busy with work and getting our cars ready. We actually haven't sat down and forecasted our calendar yet. So I don't even know when the South Island Champs is on, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that sort of blows the next question out then, doesn't it, Kins? Someone else asking when you're going to come to this track. And so I'd say watch the space or watch the their page for, I'm sure they'll update everybody. Wayne's, they're pretty proactive on their page to let the fans know what's happening. So I'd say watch that page and you'll probably see an update of what their calendar will be, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so. That's you too, Carl Carpenter. I know you asked a question earlier in regards to Gisborne, so like Wayne has just clarified, I just watched the page. Geordie from Amron, this is going to be funny from Ems. Have you got a license for your guns yet, mate?
I was just going to say he'll be asking about my bloody guns again, won't he? I've been slack at the gym, so that's why I got the big T-shirt on, keep him hidden away for a while. I'll get back in the amps and get him pumped up before I see him next.
Scott Honeybone said Peter Field may be up there with some of the drivers that's been around for a fair. But what about the 19M? Kieran Remnant, yeah, he must be clocking 20 odd years now, surely. Easy.
Virtually everybody came up with Clive Elliott, didn't they, when we asked? Everybody brought Clive's name up.
He's over 20 years because he's done about 23-year team racing, but I don't think he's near 40 yet. So
yeah.
He's probably done 30 years. I'd say. I can remember actually Kerry when he came out, and he's actually a young fella, and he was pretty brave actually. I can remember watching him at Rotorua. They go, "Who's this young guy?" It's Kerry Remblin. Never heard of him. And he was very young and naive back then, and so that must have been close to 30 years ago at least.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, Riker Edge, you're right, mate. Up the mighty Porters going hard there. We just briefly touched on the old RW2. Shane and Karen Taylor. Yeah, Wayne is such an awesome person. Had a chance of meeting him recently at the Red Waka headquarters. So great Speedway legend. Words for you. Jamie's watching now. Jamie Hamilton's watching. Murray Gorge is actually watching now, mate.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
RW2 manufacturer. So
I can level with you, Geordie. This is AMS now, Geordie. All talking about your guns now. Let's link up sometime and hit the gym together. He's actually got his page up and going. He's going to help out Miani as well. So he's just released the Only AMS. No, it's not like OnlyFans. It's Only AMS based on Speedway and everything like that. So he's going to be doing a fair bit just to get the whole thing rolling. Yeah. And the Delhi M's. So he's the lover of rugby league, does Amron, and he's going to emulate the Delhi M's. So I do know next year we're going to be involved with them around some of the awards on that. Carl Carpendale's got a question for you. We saw Carl last weekend in his TQ at Miani. Wayne or Jordan or both yous, would you jump in an open wheel car?
Yeah, I definitely would like to have a crack at either driving a sprint car or a super saloon. Tried to do a swap with our good mate Craig Cardwell down at Woodford Glen. We were both down there. I think it might have been the Battle of the Stocks or similar. We talked to Steve Leonard about swapping a drive after the meeting. So he was going to jump in RW2 and I was going to jump in his car, the old 8H, I think it was then, and spin us a few laps. So I was excited for that, but he actually snapped the axle in half in his first race of the night. So didn't manage to get it done, but still on the bucket list for me. Definitely would be keen to try one of those two classes for sure.
I was going to say we might be able to get you into a modified. We know someone that would probably put you in a modified.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching them growing up too. The modifieds, much like a sprint car. So yeah, something like that would be a wicked experience, I reckon.
Oh, we might have to.
Yeah, Brad Lay would do it.
We know someone that will put them in a modified.
Yeah. Bloody Brad will do it. What about you, Wayne? I know you want to go faster. You said that with your car, just got to go speed. So I'm guessing sprint car or midget.
Yeah, I think I'd give it a crack. I've done stock car, super stocks all my life and never really gone to open wheelers, but they're certainly fast and entertaining. And I think, I don't know, I'm a good mate of Jaden Warden, and I know that he had a squirt in Malcolm Nartai's super saloon, and he got out and he was fizzing about it, and he said he'd rather race that than a super stock. So that must be good. So absolutely. I would probably give that a crack at some stage and see how we get on. And obviously there's a lot of transfer of super stock drivers, probably the older drivers, guys that have maybe a bit of injury or that they can't afford to be injured, are transferring over to the super saloons. And I really think that's good for that class. And it's going to be interesting for drivers like Jordan and I to sit on the bank on the sideline and watch them and see how competitive they are.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't there, that's switching over now. You've got this season. Well, I know that Thomas Stanaway won't be out in his saloon till next year, but I think Jason Long's out this season with his, and you got Peter B, of course, as well, and he was humming in that thing at Piani last year. Holy moly! I mean, it's been a long time where I've been at a track where after a race, a crowd has stood up for a standing ovation for the winner, and that's what they gave Peter B at Miani that time when he raced against Flynn's side by side, just lap after lap, the two of them, and it was just really impressive to watch. It's So I
It's
think
a very competitive class though. You've got, the Carlin boys that, I mean, they're absolutely outstanding. And then you've got, Cardwell and the Flynn boys, like to transfer across to that they've got so many years on top of you, of how to drive a super saloon. It will take a little bit of time to catch up to that pace because they certainly have lifted the bar up very high for people coming in. But it would be a good challenge.
Yeah, you got the young ones coming through as well. You think of Mark Osborne, what's he done after Stockies into Super Senior. You got his son, the young Ashton.
And
You got the young
he's a
Flynn boy
talent.
coming on through.
Yeah.
Young Waddell's here now, Sam. There's just so many. Jordan, could you imagine the kind of Super Saloon late modelist type of car the creation bloody Wayne Hemi would do? Could you imagine what that would look like in the engine and everything? It'll be out of this world, mate. It'll be just next level.
Yep, I'm sure he'd be flying a few of his late model mates out from the States to make sure his ride was top notch. So, watch the space. Watch the space. You never know.
Yeah, actually, just talk about that because you've done the States thing there in late models. I've seen over the years you've gone over and followed some of that. It's just next level over there in America. It's a full-time job, and it's how many races a year and X amount of times a week as well. It's pretty full on.
Well, I mean, the thing is with the US, I mean, last weekend they were racing for $100,000 prize pool.
Yeah.
Like they do it properly over there. They get paid and they do it professionally. And we were very lucky because we had a Red Waka boys trip over there, didn't we, George?
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Eldora and I fell in love with this car number 6. I seen it the first night ripping around the track. I'm like, wow, that guy has got the best lines. He really excited me. And the next day, and it's probably the first time I've ever done it, I had to go down and buy one of his T-shirts, which I never do. I was like a fanboy, And when I went over there, his crew chief said, "Are you Wayne Hemi? Do you raise that Red Waka?" I'm like, So anyway, long story short, they ended up inviting me to work on the car, and Jordan and the rest of the Red Waka team thought it was funny because they were drinking piss and I had to work on that car all day. But, that night they asked me to crew all night with them and I did, and they went through and they actually won the $100,000 dream and took me to the podium with them and all that, and since then we've become pretty good mates. In fact, I just was sent a couple of them an email today because we're just trying to get a bit of technical information about what we're doing. So I do lean on them a little bit when I can.
Was that Superman Jonathan Davenport?
Yep, Superman.
Mighty goodly.
Oh, I know, mate. He's an encyclopedia, mate, this guy. He's just incredible.
What happened is I was working on his car all day, like from 10 o'clock in the morning, and we got to like 3 in the afternoon, and we'd nearly finished prepping the Superman car, and they said, "Oh, Wayne, can you do one more job for us?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can. What do you want to do?" And they'd grooved all their tires up, and we needed to pluck out all the rubber.
Yeah.
So I went up there and I looked at the stack of tires. I'm like, "Geez, I'm going to be here for 2 hours picking these out." So I was picking them all out, and I was doing it with the tire man. So I was doing it for about an hour with the tire man, and I said to him, I said, "Are you the tire expert in the team or something?" He goes, I'm a bit of an all-rounder. So we carried on doing it for half an hour, and then I found out it was Jonathan Davenport. So we had a good laugh about
that. Scott Honeybone's got a question there. Kyle Larson, still going to come out and play with the Red Wakas?
We had that plan because I'm really good friends with Superman's team owner. Actually, his name's Kevin, and good friends with him. And Larson was racing for Kevin because Superman moved on to a different team, and Carl Larson ended up racing for him. And we had that organised, but obviously the COVID come along, and it's really kind of screwed it up for us at that period. And when you look at it now, I just don't think that it will happen because Larson seems to be racing in different classes, and Kevin's got a new drive. In fact, Kevin, who is a good friend of mine. He won the $100,000 last Saturday night at Eldora. So that car that he prepared and owns would be equivalent to Superman's car, and that driver won the 100K. So he's very, 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 very intelligent, very good guy. So.
So,
well, I'm guessing back here in New Zealand for the both years, so I'm guessing obviously it's all the big meetings that you're going to be doing. Obviously the NZ's, Miani's, you do the 240s, 248s, which we know we're going to see a few of the Palms come over for that as well.
This year, yeah.
Then, of course, depending on what happens in regards to team selection and how that all develops, I'm guessing you roll onto Rotorua come, was it March with the North Islands? Be doing all the big meetings?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I think all roads lead to Miani. We just focus on sort of one big event at a time. So we'll be looking forward to that early January. That's where I picked up my first placing at the New Zealand's back in, however long ago it was, 9 or 10 years ago. So I'm looking forward to that meeting for sure. And yeah, hopefully do well there in that 240s and then on to teams. For me, hopefully another good year with the Panthers, and don't know if Wayne will be managing or driver manager for the Mustangs. You never know. He might dust off the helmet and do one more teams champs.
He's trying to get you back in there, Wayne. He wants you back out there, mate.
You notice he put me in the Mustangs, but not the Panthers. Hey, too old for the Panthers.
Let's just touch on that, though. That stellar era, back when the Panthers just dominated teams, mate. That would go down as one of your great times in your career of racing over, your nearly 40 years, eh?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, having that team bound together for that duration and that period was fantastic. And when you're in the moment, I suppose you don't look at it that way. You're just racing and you're racing to win. But, if you look at it now, I mean, we had Peter Rees and, Scotty Myers and Shane Penn and Benston, and Jobby, a really strong team that really gelled together for a number of years. And, yeah, it was. I don't know. I'll probably be brave enough to say it's probably the best team that you can, in the history of the sport to win those consistently. Be really nice to be a part of that group. Yeah, so it was good times. A lot of fun, Peter Rees and all that, awesome guys, and it's always good to look down your line and, you had the hardest guys in the country sitting on your team. So it's always
it's just quite surreal when you say the names, Wayne, and me and Booker would know this, just listening to those names you mentioned, and you put them right up. The GP December from Bevan Giltrap, you'll try and do that, I'm guessing. Well, that's only bloody couple of months away. It's not that far, is it?
It's only like 5 weeks away.
Yeah, holy hell. So
unfortunately, I won't make it to the GP this year. I've got a wedding to attend down in Queenstown. So it's just a shame because it's so close. Wanganui is like our second home track. So it would have been great to go over and support them. But obviously Wayne and Jamie will be there. So, yeah, unfortunately I missed that one. But hopefully the rest of the Red Waka guys, Wayne and Jamie, go good there, yeah.
Yeah, we're just touching on their team thing just briefly. Dominated Auckland at the same time as well, that's right. Not only just bloody Palm, it was Auckland. Unreal.
I think we won. That team won. We won 4 teams straight, the New Zealand team champs straight, along with the Auckland team champs straight as well. So we won 4 years consistently for both championships. Yeah. Which I think would be probably hard to beat today. And I say that I don't say that because of the drivers that we had, but today the team racing is so competitive. All those teams are so equal now. Yeah. You can go to the team champs. You don't know actually who's going to win it. For a start, I mean, the Mustangs beat the Rebels last year in race 1. No one would have picked that. So there are upsets and. It's just not a full-done conclusion on who's going to win a championship today.
Do you think that
to try and win 4 in a row would be pretty tough?
Yeah.
I think. Do you think it comes down to everybody's got really good gear now? So where you in the old days you knew who was blocking and you knew who was running because of the sort of the way the cars were. Now any driver can run or block, so it's sort of you don't know what to sort of do or attack. Do you think is that what you think the biggest improved changes to make it more even in teams?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, going back when I started watching teams racing, probably 2005, watching Wayne and the likes go around, it'd be them and the Tigers would have 5 really good cars, and then the other teams would probably have 2 or 3 cars that would take a decent hit and break down. Whereas now, all the cars, like you say, are top quality race cars. So yeah, there's not many cars breaking down through mechanical failure anymore. They're either destroyed or on their roof, So, and the drivers are just as smart now too.
Yeah.
They are smart teams racers. They don't put themselves in stupid positions, and they do know how to block and run, most of them or a lot of them now. So yeah, I think it's just the way it's evolved. Everyone's getting better every year.
Yeah, and they all had bodies back in the day. That's right, Murray. They all had bodies, not the panels, as some would say.
I think I look at it and I quite like it, and even though I race for the Palmerston Club and that, but I look at a club like Wanganui, who's kind of like a country kind of club, to be honest. They're more a tier 2 than a tier 1, I would say, and I don't say that rudely. I say that because they don't get a lot of support over there, really. But when you look at the team that they've pulled together and the super stock that they've got, they race together, just not at team champs, but they race together all year round. And we've and they won't go out and be nasty and try and hot dog and kill you, but they certainly race together. But when it comes to team champs, all that gelling that they've done certainly pays off. And someone like Wanganui is just on the throes of picking up a big championship. I would say if I was going to put some money on a team to win, I'd say Wanganui's got a good chance of coming through, because I think they're all a bunch of good guys and really good drivers, all round drivers.
Nah, that'd make our mate happy, wouldn't it? Kinser, old MMJ up there. He'd be happy if Wanganui won. That's for sure.
Mate.
I think I agree with you there, Wayne. You've seen them over the last few years, just inching away, aren't they? And they're staying together. And they really are looking good. Yeah.
They are looking good, and I think that's really good for our sport, because you got your big names with your drivers being the Panthers and the Giants, and they're always kind of there, and they're always the favourite, So to see another team come through and actually give them a challenge and upset them is really good for the crowd, and that's what they pay for.
Before we wrap up tonight's show, though, obviously people have seen the pictures of the new cars, the great designs. I'm guessing merch going to follow up with any of this?
Yeah. We the thing is, it's COVID kind of hurt us a little bit. Well, I say it didn't hurt us, but we kind of done all our merch for the last couple of years, and so what we're doing is we've actually got our merch on sale, and we're going to sell, even our merch is new. We're actually selling it just so we can clean our shelves off a little bit and start fresh. So that's what we're doing. So I think our merch was for sale on Saturday night for $30 for a hoodie, which is pretty good. And and they're all brand new designs, whatever color they're going to be. So yeah, that's kind of where it is. But yeah, I do my own design works for all my merch. So I'm the merch manager, because no one else wants to do it, do they, Jordan? So yeah, I'm in design at the moment, just tidying that up.
So if someone wants to buy that outside the track, do they just go to your page? How do they do that, Wayne?
They have been going to our page, but we've got Kim and Jessica that, obviously staples of our team, that were supposed to do an online page, so it makes it easy for them. So I have to go back and give them a sally up and a whack around to get them up to speed and get that date.
Right. Oh, actually, we're just touching on teams. For you, just again, Wayne, being inducted, I think that was yourself and Pete Rees.
Peter Rees, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That would have been a very proud moment.
A very, very proud moment. Probably, to be honest, probably one of the most proudest moments in my Speedway career, to be honest.
Yeah.
And to be inducted with Pete Rees as well, who's a freaking legend in my eyes. I think Pete Rees, you either love him or hate him, but I love the guy. He was my team member for the Panthers. I've got a great friendship with him. never ever had any issues with Pete Rees. So to be inducted with Pete was a privilege for me as well. So yeah, really, really, really proud moment. And yeah, like there's been some moments in my career, my career that I've raced in that are really, emotional. You can get emotional about them. I do sometimes wish I didn't retire from team racing because I still think I could do another season or two there and there because I get pumped up about that. But
yeah,
I said to Jordan that I won my last team race with the Panthers at Palmerston North.
Yeah.
And we got third that night, Geordie, and I'd never want to go and screw that over either and end up getting over into the hot dog stand, and that's the way I'm remembered. So I might just stay out of the season, play that management role, and let the young guys go to war and support them rather than that. We have to know when we got to retire and give it to the younger guys, and it's just that's the time of your career,
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah,
we could sit here and talk and talk. But sorry, Box Carry on.
I was just going to say, we were, how Wayne was saying, some people, hate Pete, some people like him. We've always been, myself and Kins have always been a fan of the Rees family and the way they drive. I think Jordan's having some issues popping in and out there, but yeah, that's
the Fox and internet for you. Not enough fizz.
He's disappeared altogether now. So I don't know what happened to him. He'll be sitting there swearing at his phone.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite lucky because when I was racing with Pete Rees, I got to know his boys, and they were still at school, and they were still, walking around, young boys. In fact, there's photos of them on our cars, and 10 years old. That's Asher Rees and Ethan, and I mean that today they are our best super stock drivers in the country. Those two boys are incredible.
And those two boys,
I'm really proud of what they've done in the sport and who they are. I think they're awesome, and I've always had a friendship with them, and that's because I've known them since they were juniors. It's not because Asher Rees is the most feared driver in the country or whatever. It's just that I've known him since he was a young fella and always supported him on or off the track for all those years and built a really good friendship up with them, even though he took me out at Stratford last year.
The thing that's impressed me with those two boys is how much they've grown up the last few years and how sensible they've become and how they talk, and having kids and being family men has really, really made them just be great guys, right? Great kids, and me and Kins have both been impressed when we've spoken to Ethan or Asher, how well they talk and their attitude towards things, and it really is refreshing to see young kids like that have a head on their shoulders like they've got now, where a few years back they were a bit sort of wayward, I suppose, and they've just come back to be great young men.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can even put Jamie Hamilton in that bracket too, just really mature, and they really love our sport, and they've got families, and for them to be able to go racing, and that's our generation going forward, I think it's awesome. Like for me, when I finally retire at some stage, to be a part of Speedway and go and watch and support the likes of Jamie Hamilton or whoever's going to be driving the Red Waka. We could be looking for a driver for that. So, and to have those friendships and connections with those guys is awesome, and that's good for our sport, because I think our sports turned from I'd say a black jersey kind of sport back in the 80s to a really good family sport today, and watching all the mini stocks go out and all those families really enjoying themselves, I think it's really cool. And I mean, I know that there's a bit of rivalry here and there and a bit of bad blood sometimes, but we really need to put that aside and just make sure that we enjoy ourselves and we will drive home safely at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, 100% right there, Wayne. There's young Jet coming on through, mate. So your career's not going to be over any time yet, mate.
Yeah, no. Well, Jamie Hamilton and I have been eyeing him up, so we've already got his future mapped out. So we know where he's going. So it's going to be up to Jet, but he comes from some good blood. So hopefully he will carry our flag for a long time to come.
And what about
beautiful?
Just quickly, we are going on a bit, but someone else has put here, Jaden Ward as well. I mean, his brain when it comes to teams racing, I believe, is probably one of the best at the moment in the sport. What are your thoughts on him, Wayne?
I would rate Jaden Ward the best super stock driver in the country today. I love watching Jaden Ward drive. He is phenomenal. I suppose you got the likes of Ethan Rees and Asher not far behind that, but between them, we have to remember, guys, they're all Palmerston boys.
Yeah, I know.
They're not G's and C's. They're P. And they come up and grew up watching those P drivers, and I'm proud of them as well. And but I think that group is a phenomenal, and I love watching them race. They have their own driving style, but the way that Jaden Ward can control a race is phenomenal. Doesn't matter whether it's a team race or a New Zealand title. He's dangerous.
You're right. And just thinking there too, and you had Jordan there, and you think of young Jack Myers, that future of the P and teens, that they all stayed there. I tell you what,
would have been. We talked about that last year, didn't we, Kins? Imagine if the Reesers hadn't have left Palmy, and you look at the team now, it probably wouldn't have been a very exciting teams champs, because the Palmerston North Panthers, you would have had Jaden Ward, Ethan, Asher, Jordan, Jack Humphreys. No one would have ever beaten them.
Well, they're local Ps, and that, you know what I mean, and they're still local Ps more or less. They kind of live in the area, but hey, they chose to go and contract other tracks for their own personal reasons, and I totally get that. And I think it's been really good for the sport. So it's been really good for Speedway, because it's really opened the doors up and evened up the teams and made a bit of rivalry. But hopefully that they're all good mates, and they don't take it too serious, because we are racing a dirt track, and we aren't racing for $100,000 like they do in the US. We're racing for $100, and we just got to keep it real as well. We all have to go to work on Monday.
Yeah, love it, mate. Well, we better disappear that you go to work. We'll finish on that. We're all got to go to work and have a bit of a sleep, and it's 10 to 9. But Wayne, we really appreciate you joining us tonight on the show, listening to a bit about your history and the pride and the passion and the love that you have for the sport. Having your sideman next year join us as well, Jordan, and it's his birthday today. He's taken time out from that. And also Russell Hayes. Russell Hayes, who joined us earlier, president for the Kihikihi track. I think that's just about wrapped up our travel up and down the whole country. We started down in Invercargill, and I think Kihikihi might have been the last on the agenda to wrap up all the promotions of all the Speedway. If you want to keep in touch with what's happening this weekend, go to our Kokpit page. Booker's done the whole calendar. Everything's
another one for this weekend.
Another one this weekend. But Wayne, really appreciate sharing a chat with you, mate, and having a good laugh. And I know you're still in the blood there, and if you could, you'd do teams again, mate, and you got another year or two in you. But we wish you all the best in the Red Waka Motorsport, all the best, and safe travels, and good luck for the upcoming season, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much. You guys are doing a really good show, and it's really good to see a good bunch of guys supporting Speedway. And if you ever want me back on the show, just drop me a message. Always welcome. And let's all have a great season together and enjoy it.
100%. Thanks, Wayne. Mate. Take it easy.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Cheers.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wayne,
that was a good night. Kins, we went a bit longer than we normally do, but I think the people stayed around to listen to it. But while you're watching, people, don't forget we're supporting Heart Kids New Zealand this year. So Kokpit will be up at Huntly Speedway 17th, 18th of November. For Friday night at the Huntly Speedway, we will be doing our auction. We've had a lot of donations so far from people to auction stuff off. We've got Repco Huntly helping us. We've got Vasey Engineering helping us. We've got young Cam Jar. We've got Josh Prentice is going to get us some stuff. Hawkeyes are going to get us some stuff. So if you want to help out and give us anything to auction off for this great cause, Heart Kids, just get in touch with us. And we're happy to take whatever you can help out with. And don't forget on the Saturday night, The two idiots will be commentating.
Yeah. The two of us, the both of us will be commentating at Huntly International Speedway. We've been thrown in the deep end, so we'll have fun and make sure you have fun with us as well. Just one final word, and that is go the All Blacks Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. You know, let's do it for those players who are retiring. When you think of Sam Whitelock, he's played at 4 World Cups, and he's won a couple of those as well. So when you think of the finals, so that's going to be a big morning. You got the Kiwi League team playing Saturday night. Sports everywhere. There's sports bloody everywhere. But thank you to everyone who's enjoyed the show. We enjoyed our show tonight.
And also thanks to everybody that has stuck with us in the off season. That we've tried to bring you a good show every week. We haven't even had a break since the start of last season. We've been going every Wednesday night since the beginning of last season. So we thank you all for sticking with us, and we hope we can carry on bringing you a great show for the rest of the season.
Awesome, mate. Don't forget to check out Kihikihi this coming Saturday, 4:30 start, fireworks and everything going on there as well. So thanks again to Russell for joining us. Thanks again to every single promoter that's joined us from down the Invercargill right up to Auckland and covering nearly all the tracks in the whole of the country. Be safe out there. Enjoy your Speedway season, and we'll catch you back on Wednesday.
Thank you.
See ya.
During those first few hours, we had no idea. We came out of hospital, no complications. He was a perfectly healthy baby boy to us. The next morning, the midwives noticed that he was a little blue around the lips, and we were rushed to Starship. And from that point on, we had about 20 doctors and specialists trying to figure out what was wrong with him. Initially, they thought he might have an infection. But soon they discovered he had a heart defect, and quite a serious one, meaning he had to have immediate surgery just to keep him alive. I just remember looking into the ICU and the surgeon giving us the thumbs up and thinking, what a little fighter he was. Less than a week later, he had undergone open heart surgery to repair his heart, and a year on, we still have to remind ourselves what he's been through and what the future holds for him. It's probably more than any of us will have to deal with in a lifetime, and he's just one of so many kids that have to battle this for the rest of their lives. Some will need multiple surgeries, and some won't make it past their teens. Heart Kids have been there for us right from the start, and they'll continue to be there every step of the way.
Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your every time. And
When you're young and you're getting your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Red Waka with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?